Hello, Mitch Stott again, bringing you the action from the second running of the Southeast Gassers Association A and C gas categories at the beautiful Union County Drag Strip. Yes, you guessed it, Union, South Carolina. The Union Drag Strip has long been heralded for fabulous traction, massive traction, super fast runs at this racetrack, and it is really playing trouble with these old cars and parts that we had to use. First and second rounds of qualifying has already shown us broken parts, wheel stands galore, cars crossing center lines, trying to run into one another. The true, when I talk about the true 1960s racing excitement, these guys are providing it today. The excitement is so great, the crowd is so tight, we've even got the old World War II trainer biplanes out flying over because the gates are so filled they can't get in, so they're trying to watch it from the skies. Talk about a show. The Southeast Gassers' second tour of the season for 2016 has many things to sit back and enjoy as we bring them to you in live, living color right here, Union, South Carolina. As part of our programming or recording here, obviously we're wanting to introduce the drivers and really kind of get in touch with them and find out why, what drives them to come out here and do this madness and all of the things, the cost and the time away from home that goes along with it. So we've kind of labeled this, this little series, A Minute with, our drivers. And so this week, Shannon Smith, it's your lucky turn in our Minute with Shannon Smith. And obviously you went in last week or the last race at Greer, but I was over talking with your dad, Charles, a little while ago and trying to get some history as to what drags you into drag racing other than just your love of automobiles. But Charles was sharing some of his stories, your dad, Charles, some of his stories with me about when he was racing demodified production back in the late 60s and stuff with the exact same yellow 55 like you're driving today. And he said really the only modification he had was he had to remove the front bumper. He said otherwise we'd have been in the stock class, but that was a demodified production, and it's kind of funny how some of those rules were back then. But you're stomping in his same old footsteps. He was running this this 55 Chevrolet yellow in color with a 4-speed transmission out there swapping gears, and I know that you and I have been friends for a long time, and I've heard you say before that's some of the stuff that really brought you into drag racing. And just, what is your comments or memories or maybe some of the things that most stand out in your mind that when you was first kind of got the racing bug?
I think I was about 11 years old. Mom's had a pale yellow station wagon. After this, my dad said, if you'll get that car cleaned up for your mama, I'll bring you a car home. No, he didn't. He said, I'll bring you a surprise. So I'm thinking a blow pop. What you get when you're 11 years old.
That's right.
He comes in on a ramp truck with a 55 Chevrolet.
Now that was
it was a surprise. No motor, no transmission. Of course, I think that just set either it's hereditary or the disease, as you may call it. You're exactly right. It went from there. And from 11 years old, I worked on one. And your Uncle Larry, I think, built me my first motor for it that I scattered in about 2 weeks.
Yeah, at that time it didn't take long, yeah.
And I was driving by then,
At the fresh age of 11, 12?
Well, no, it took me 3 years to get it running. So I was 15 by this time, 15, and my car I had to drive to school, I blowed the motor in 2 weeks. So it was just all downhill from there, I guess, But I've been very fortunate, to have Quayne build this car for me, and I was out of racing 25 years. Nothing ever serious, right. But just always, it's in your blood.
Well, I know that you've had a lot of street car type stuff. I mean, you've been automotive oriented all your life. That makes you young again.
Yeah, even younger. You see all the pictures, in the photo books, and it was always the yellow 55, and that's, it just always stuck.
The older we get, the younger we want to be.
That's exactly right.
And
I like history.
Well, that's what I say. These old cars just make us young again. It don't matter. That's what it's all about.
Old people. I love them all.
Without a doubt, we are reaching our golden years. Anyway, there again, Shannon Smith, excellent driver, competitor on the Southeast Gasser Association Tour, won the last race at Greer. Without a doubt, he's favored to win here today. It's finally time for first round of eliminations in C-Gas category as we look at some of the highlights As we had talked about earlier in the introduction, this racetrack notorious for traction and wreaking havoc on a number of these cars where only the strong survive. Sunshine Express and Sonny Hall had a first round bye run because of his opponent had breakage during qualifying. The traction of this racetrack continued with problems with other cars, breaking drive shafts, rear ends, all of the above. We were sitting here talking with Tim Greer earlier about the fact that for once he was not responsible for any track oil problems. But first round matchup between him and Tim Bailey. As we look in the car with Tim Bailey, Tim looking like he's ready for action, while Tim Greer may have been a little concerned about an oil down or something like that, not being as ready for first round as Tim Bailey is. The other pairing in the first round showed Ernie Smith and the One Gone Dog 56 Chevrolet up against Robert Frazier in the Plymouth Barracuda. Ernie taking an easy win here with Robert having some issues off of the starting line, car making a hard lunge to the left, giving Ernie an easy win. Visiting with him in the pit area now. Catching up with Ernie Smith in the pit area, he is the new shoe and the One Gone Dog 56 Chevrolet of Sonny Clayton. Sonny joined up with us a couple of years ago with this 56 Chevrolet, which is an actual Seagas Racer barn find out of the state of California. This car migrated its way out to North Carolina where Sonny Clayton lives, and Sonny has tapped on the talents of Ernie Smith to drive this car in the ultra-competitive Seagas category for the Southeast Gassers Association this year. And Ernie, you know, I've never seen the old Gone Dog getting gone quite so quick. You're doing a wonderful job with it.
Well, I appreciate that, and I just want to say Sonny Clayton has put one bad hot rod under me. He called me a few weeks ago, gave me the opportunity to get in the seat of this car, and I couldn't be more honored. I mean, I'm sitting in a piece of history right here. A car ran just like it was ran in the 60s, fun to drive, and I am having a blast out here.
Well, there's no doubt. I love hearing the RPMs. You don't have no trouble with getting your foot super deep in that throttle pedal, Ernie, which is what it's all about. And like I said, I've never seen this car running quite so strong. And indeed, you do have the honor to drive and ride in an actual true piece of drag racing history. And with that, yeah, that's a definite honor.
It's way more fun than super odd cars I drove. I mean, this is just living a dream. And I can't thank Mr. Clayton enough, for Quayne and Donovan enough for thinking of me when Sonny needed a driver. And I'm going to go out here and beat on it like it owes me money and see where we can go from here.
Well, I don't think there's no problem, no question in that. I think Ernie's seat position is secure for quite a time to come. He's doing a phenomenal job. Once again, thank you, Ernie. Appreciate it, brother.
Thank you, Mitch.
As always, first round of eliminations kind of sets the stage for the day and who you can expect to see in the latter part of the rounds. Quayne Stott losing a very important first round to Tommy Lumley. Tommy not being president of Greer Dragway. First event, Quayne did not have a good finish at Greer. He really needed a good finish here in Union, but he is not going to get it. Donovan Stott coming up against the ever-tough Sonny Burr in the Avenger 37 Chevrolet. Donovan Stott taking the win. Sonny Burr again, another one that really needed to make rounds here. But I tell you what, Donovan Stott really needed this first round so that he can start chasing those points leads, because he was disqualified by himself at Greer Dragway due to not crossing the scales. Shannon Smith up against Tony Turner. Shannon taking the win. Shannon winning the first race at Greer Dragway. Tony Turner having transmission troubles at Greer and seems to still be experiencing them here at Union. The old 37 Dodge of Tony Turner, she's a tough cookie, and I know that once he gets her sorted out, she's going to be a contender. Next pairing in the first round showed Chris Dunn up against Gabriel Burrell. Chris Dunn posting what is the quickest time of the day eventually in the Boogeyman Chevy 2. Gabriel Burrell in the Southern Flyer. Car still having a little bit of traction or direction problems leaving the starting line, but the power and speed of the Boogeyman Chevy 2 is very lethal and just put Gabriel Burrell quickly on the trailer for first round today. Next round pairing, quite a surprise. Jimmy Finley up against Gary Klein. Gary Klein, the 40 Willies, taking the win from Jimmy Finley. Finley experiencing some sort of an issue, transmission, shifter, not sure what happened. Very uncharacteristic for Jimmy Finley and the Snakebite Mustang. Next round showed Kenneth Phillips up against Greg Porter. Greg Porter, one of the longtime causes of the Southeast Gasser Association, him and Quain's rivalry, taking an early dismissal slip from Kenneth Phillips. Kenneth Phillips putting the Night Stalker 55 Chevrolet on the trailer like it wasn't even no problem. Leading into the second round of the C-Gas category, you know, these cars, as we've talked about all day long, just having problem after problem with this racetrack, and the story continues. First round, we had Carnage also setting up more buy runs for the second round. Here we've got Ben Helms up against Tim Bailey in the Alley Cat 40 Willies. The 40 Willies, Tim has been fighting this car a little bit for the last couple of races, maybe even into last year. This car having some issues launching from the starting line when he really starts to push it. Sometimes this car goes down great. Other times, she puts up a fight. Second round of eliminations, A-Gas category in the pits here with Donovan Stott and the White Trash Anglia. Donovan, you know, we had a problem second round of your own creation at Greer, the first race of the season. And your old nemesis, well, let me go back, had a problem that actually ended your race in the second round and really devastating to the points tabulations. Now, the problem is, or maybe the fortune, either way you want to look at it, is the fact that you've got Shannon Smith second round sitting beside you here in the staging lanes, and if you can pull this win off, then you can start to grab a hold of that points lead from him, keep him from getting too far out.
Exactly. I mean, having Shannon second round's more the biggest round for the day. Absolutely. I mean, this is more important than the finals by far. Taking him out in the second round and me progressing just one more round is 5 points, much less 2 rounds, which is 10, obviously. There's no race win points other than just the 5 regular round points. So I could potentially put 15 points back up to Shannon today. But I've been out there watching, and I think Shannon's got a little quicker number than I do, but we're going to play a few games, and we're going to see what we can't do in the second round.
Well, you know, you don't have to be the fastest car to win. You just got to be the smartest driver. And so, you know, you've been around it, and I know that you're clear-headed, but all I can tell you, son, this is critical. This is important. And hang tight.
Will do.
Shannon Smith going into the second round. You've got a pairing with Donovan Stott and the White Trash Anglia. Obviously, he cost himself a race at the last one, putting him out at the second round, giving him only points for the first round. You go on and win the race with a big points lead. You guys are matched up second round of eliminations. I don't have to say that. I know you know that. So what's your thoughts on the matter? The hands say it all. Shannon knows Donovan is a tough competitor. Shannon doesn't have anything to be worried about himself. As I said before, I do feel like he's probably the favored winner today, but you can rest assured this is going to be a round to watch because Donovan is definitely going to be going for the throat. As we've seen from the interview between Donovan and Shannon Smith, both of those guys very concerned, very nervous about this round. So much is on the line. Shannon Smith needs to win this round to extend his lead over Donovan Stott, who won the points in 2015. Shannon Smith winning the points in 2014. Both of them very capable of winning this race and winning a championship for 2016. However, Donovan Stott, with the aggression that he knew he had to go, having a slightly slower car today, goes red on the starting line, giving the win to Shannon Smith and allowing him to further advance that points lead, making it all the more difficult for Donovan or anyone else to catch up with him as the season goes by. Next round pairings brings up Gary Klein and Tommy Lumley. Tommy taking the win from Quain Stott in round one. Some might consider an upset. Tommy might say just due time. The next pairing, bringing up the battle of the Chevy 2s, the Silver Streak Chevy 2 of Kenneth Phillips and the Boogeyman Chevy 2 of Chris Dunn. Both of these cars fastest on the field today. Doesn't matter what. Kenneth Phillips literally obliterating Chris on the starting line. No matter how much power the boogeyman has got, he's not going to make up that deficit when he's against the silver streak.
Well, he come and got me and said, Shannon's light. He said, what do you, I said, how bad light? He said, 4 pounds. I said, well, that's too much. He said, had he not been
half an ounce light is too much. No, you have to weigh the weight on that part.
See, the thing is, Shannon, he's been telling you all day to add weight.
Donovan, we just found out in the pit area that Shannon did cross the scales, unlike what you've done at Greer, not crossing the scales. But the fact is, you know, the rules of the Southeast Gassers are extremely strict, and we don't show favoritism to no one, nor do we bend that rule in any shape, form, or fashion. Shannon came across the scales 4 pounds light. You red lighted with a vengeance to win that round. A little quick, losing the round, but Shannon's mistake trying to be on minimum weight to gain every ounce of performance he can, this time cost him. Last 2 weeks ago at Greer, this cost you. Here today in Union, this is your best friend.
Yes, sir. As I just told Shannon, I don't want to win this way, but if the rules for me, the rules for him belong for anybody else here. And like I said, I do hate it, but by gosh, I'll take these points. I need them. It's the second round of these 9 rounds in this short season, and so I'm here. I'm coming for the semifinals, and if all I know is we'll be in the winner's circle, if it's so angry, it'll pick up a little bit. Red lighted, bad. I don't know if that was a little deep stage or what, but all I know is I was ready for those yellow ambers, and I seen the 3 ambers as I left the starting line. And
that's the kiss of death.
Yeah, it's the kiss of death. But in all honesty, Shannon can watch this later. I knew that he was 2 pounds heavy the round before, and so I used the rule book to my advantage. I held him out on the starting line, using up every ounce of fuel I could, and that may have been the 2 or 3 pounds that made the rules. And so with that being said, I'm the winner. I don't know how, praise God. But we're going to the semifinals. I got the radiator and the water pump going, so we're going to be there.
Well, you've got Tommy Lumley next round, no slouch. I mean, he's constant, steady on the tree every time. A very competent car. Kenneth Phillips has got a bye run into the finals. This is pivotal for you to try to win that round with Tommy. I know Tommy Lumley feels the same way. He needs to make rounds too. Tommy was not at the Greer event, so he's way behind on points. And this is very crucial to you. So, son, like I said, make sure you're on the weight. Hold off on the tree just a second, and I wish you luck on the next round.
Appreciate it.
Dean Harris, the Grey Ghost Chevy 2, C-Gas category. You know, you're kind of clawing your way through the competition today. You're looking strong, brother. I think you might be starting to be kind of favored to win this round.
I tell you, I want this race bad. A couple of them said they wasn't afraid of the ghost.
They better be.
Well, they better be afraid of the ghost. You want these wins so bad, it don't matter what it takes, you can go. It's just like you're running for $10,000. You just got to go.
It's bragging rights, brother. It's bragging rights. You know, at the end of the day, if you don't win, you have to wait 2 or 3 weeks to put that fire out in your gut. So I've been there. I know what you're talking about, Dean. Brother, all I can do is wish you luck, and thank you for being with us.
Thank you.
Back to the semifinal round of C-Gas competition. Tim Bailey sitting this round out because his opponent unable to make the show due to the parts breakage. It's been going on all day. He himself, Tim Bailey, setting back, getting ready for whomever the winner of these two are would be to take on him in the final round of C-Gas category. Right now, Tim Bailey waiting to find out who's it going to be. Dean Harris in the Grey Ghost Chevy 2 or Sonny Hall in the Sunshine Express Anglia. Good clean launch for both cars. Wheels up, RPMs are screaming. Dean Harris pulling her through. Easy win for Dean on this one. Well, let me take that back. Not an easy win, as you will see coming up here in the finish. From the starting line, it looked like Dean was pulling away, but at the finish line stripe, they were extremely close. Typical to what you will see. Sonny, the old Sunshine Express has really done well today. You did not win that semifinal round, but there's nothing to be ashamed of. I've been kind of watching this car for the last couple of years you've been racing with us, and I can honestly say, you know, it's getting stronger every time you come out. You're doing a much better job driving. It just seems like the two of you two are just really starting to gel. And even though we might have had a little bit of a dark cloud come over the Sunshine Express today, Sonny, like I said, brother, you know, you've been racing with us for a while, and you guys are just really a fixture with us.
I appreciate that, Mitch. I've enjoyed the last couple of years. I'm getting more comfortable driving the car. I took a hiatus for about 40 years, and it takes a little while, you know, to sit back down in the seat and drop the hammer on an Anglia.
It does, because there's no doubt of all of the cars out here, the Anglias seem to be the wildest and hairiest of all of them.
They want to dance, that's for sure.
They do. Well, again, Sonny, like I said, I just wanted to catch up with you for a minute because, you know, we're trying to tell the story this year. We're wanting people to know who the drivers are and some of the insight into them. And like I said, you and the old Sunshine Express really starting to come together. And I know there's going to be more round wins if we can catch up with you and have some better conversations than we've had today.
Appreciate it, Mitch. Thank you very much.
Semifinal round of the A-Gas category for the Southeast Gasser Association. Going to show Donovan Stott in the White Trash Anglia up against Tommy Lumley in the Old School Outlaw. Interesting story on Tommy Lumley. This guy, one of the crazy bull riders from the bull riding arenas across the country. I've told him many a time, Tommy, I would much rather be in this wheel-standing Chevrolet as I would on the back of one of those bulls. He kind of shrugs it off as like neither's no big deal. Easy for him. However, Donovan Stott getting the launch on Tommy in this round of eliminations, going to set up a showdown between Donovan Stott and Kenneth Phillips for the final round of the A-Gas competition, and a much-needed win for Donovan if he's looking to get a hold of that points lead anytime soon. Tim, you know, C-Gas category, as we was talking back at the first race at Greer 2 weeks ago, is just really playing your song because we found the Alley Cat in another final round matchup. This time right here, you got old Dean Harris over there with the Gray Ghost, and you know, he's fast, but you know, the Alley Cat, she got some long claws. I think she might be able to scratch into that Ghost and let some of that dark potency out.
Well, we're going to give it a good shot. He's not going to be a pushover by any stretch of imagination, just like the other fellow last week wasn't. He's been making some good passes all day long, too.
Yeah, Jerry Birch, I don't know where he's at this weekend. I was quite surprised when he didn't show up. And
that he was not going to be.
Yeah, well, anyway, you know, we all sometimes we have things that get in the way of racing, although it's got to be something really big.
That's right. That's right. Death or stuff like that.
Well, again, Tim, I just wanted to catch up with you going into this final round. You know, brother, this thing is playing your song, and Alley Cat doing strong, and it's 2 final rounds in a row. And without Jerry being here, win, lose, or draw on this round, I think that should probably give you the #1 position on the points. So, you know, all you got to do is just fight that the rest of the year.
We're going to give it the best shot. I can't say I'm mad he's not here.
That's right. Hey, we'll take a win any way we can get them. That's right. That's it. That's it. Right. Again, Tim Bailey and the Alley Cat, I tell you what, she's putting up a fight for 2 races in a row. The much-anticipated final round of C-Gas category coming before us now, showing Dean Harris, who has clawed his way from first round to the final round, taking out Larry Noel in the first round, Ernie Smith in the second round, and finally Sonny Hall in the third round, putting himself in the finals. Tim Bailey taking out Tim Greer in the first round, Ben Helms in the second, and finally, courtesy of a bye run, putting him in the final round against Dean Harris. Dean Harris taking the win of the day, C-Gas category, and the first win of his career. I am sure he's going to be an emotional man, excited about the win of the C-Gas category in Union Dragway, South Carolina. Come on up here. Dean Harris, the Gray Ghost Chevy 2, taking the C-Gas win for today at Union, the second tour on the Southeast Gassers Association Tour. Dean, I'm telling you what, you know, we've talked about some Cinderella stories, man, but, you know, this is the second race on this car. Heck, worse than that, it's the second race on poor old Dean Harris. So here's the thing. You have clawed your way through every round today, and you've done it like a seasoned veteran. You know, congratulations, brother. This one right here it's all yours. You and your wife, I know you're excited.
It's their birthday.
Well, happy birthday.
It's the best we could ever do. I wanted Kenneth to win, but I want us both here, man. This is the best thing. This is awesome.
Dean, I'm pretty sure that puts you number 2 in the points for the C-Gas category. I have to look at the actual tabulation. I know you crossed the scales and you weighed right, so we don't have to worry about that. This is a clean win. It's yours. It's in the books. Now we can look ahead to the Knoxville race coming up in a couple of weeks. And Dean, as I've said before, you know, you and Kenneth, you guys have put together some serious old silver Chevy 2s, and I know that we're going to continue to see you making rounds and in the winner's circle.
Me and Kenneth are the best friends. Had some victories with other people without help with cars, but this is about the sweetest one we've ever had. And I'm just pumped. I am so thankful. Tim had something for me, and I knew his car wasn't working as well. We had talked, and I just tried to run my race the best I could. I run it as hard as it could. That was the best pass this car's made all weekend, and it
saved the best for last.
Saved the best for last.
You know, there's an old cliche that says the man who thinks he can sooner or later can. And I think Dean Harris has really proved that point today. He has focused on what he wants to do and what he can do, and he's made it pay off in a victory. And we love that sweet emotion that comes across from these drivers when you know that that win was very much heartfelt and very much desired. You know, Kenneth, here a couple of weeks ago at Greer, you had painted on the back, taking out the trash, assuming that was a target to Donovan in the white trash. You know, the fact that he started dating your daughter about a year ago, I wasn't really sure if that meant taking out the trash in racing or taking out the trash in the home front. Well, here you have found yourself in the final round, duly worthy for the silver streak, because as I've said before, you've drove the wheels off of this thing all day long, but now you've taken out the trash off. I want to know what's going on. I mean, have we changed our mind? I mean, are we not going to take out the trash?
I'm still taking out the trash, but I had to get a little lighter, change trunks.
Competition is getting tight. When these boys is worried about a little bit of lettering, and then, of course, getting a little bit of weight off, putting some fiberglass components on these old hot rods, you know that the A-Gas category is getting tougher by the day. A-Gas Finals in the Kings of the Southeast Gassers Association, the hot rods of the sport, wheel standing, high revving. Here we've got Kenneth Phillips pitted up against Donovan Stott in the white trash Anglia. Kenneth Phillips making his way to the final round today, taking out a tough Greg Porter in the first round, then Chris Dunn in the second round battle of the Chevy 2s. By a run, giving him an advancement into the final round against Donovan. Donovan on the other side of the ladder, taking on Sonny Burr in the 37 Chevrolet Avenger first round. Shannon Smith, Pale Rider 55 second round. Donovan losing that round to a red light, but then Shannon failing to make a proper weight at the scales, putting Donovan back in and pitting him against Tommy Lumley in the third round. Donovan beating Tommy Lumley and then advancing to the final round and ready for competition right here with Kenneth Phillips in the silver streak. Never have I seen such aggressive runs by these two cars. Wheel stands every single gear down the racetrack. I'm talking putting on a show that the Southeast Gassers was made for. Perfect setup, perfect end of the day. Donovan Stott taking the win. Second race on the tour at Union Dragway. Tell you what, Donovan Stott, here they come with the spoils of victory.
I don't mind. I got my second Southeast Gassers 2016. You're damn right. Woo!
Donovan, you know, brother, like I said, you had that grace of God today, giving you. You know, Shannon made a mistake, and we don't like to win them that way. But as they always say, call me anything as long as it's winter. And but you know, here I think last year you won one of these trophies put out by Still in Motion, and it's, you know, they're beautiful pieces to have and to cherish. But the main key is, Donovan, you know, you have fought a fight today. You've run this race. I'm going to say you've driven perfect, except for one round on that red light. But the point is, you have found yourself in the winner's circle. Right. And old Kenneth Phillips been talking about taking out the trash. I think you've closed the lid on his trash can and put a lock on it.
Yes, sir. We took him to the dumpsters ourselves. There ain't nothing like a trash other than white trash. But I swear to God, as my witness, nobody never sees the drivers going down the track. But third gear, me and him was looking at each other. He was looking at me, and I to short it out. Because I seen him over there in the far right side of his lane, and he was pulling on me. He got that good big small block, I'll say, and got him. I didn't know I won until the light came on. And I hit the brakes so hard after I went through the finish line, and he was over there looking at me again. I'm over there dancing in the car, got my belts loose, doing the monkey dance. You know, that old monkey dance paid off. And so we here, but as far as the run, hell, I don't even remember. It was a whole shot win. Yeah, I had him on the whole shot, and he out-ET'd me, and I won on a whole shot.
Well, you know, like I said, Donovan, son, you've come a long way in the 4 years you've started this, and you drove a heck of a race today. It paid off, and I think the second biggest thing for you is this has put you right back in contention for that point.
Points back at White Trash, and I don't know what the points difference was, but it couldn't have been too much. And God Almighty, the Lord's been good today, ain't no doubt about that.
Donovan Stott, second tour here at Union County Dragway, A-Gas champion. What a race it's been today. Some of the tightest racing that I have ever seen in my life, and some serious competition.
This right here is my girlfriend, which is Silver Streak's daughter. And we ran from Kenneth old Silver Slow over there. And if without Megan here today, I don't know if I'd ever got it lined up good enough. And I thought she was going to back him up. And I seen her walk over to his lane on the starting line, and I about got mad for a second. So that might be how I got that whole shot, because she walked over in the other lane.
Donovan giving credit to Megan Phillips, Kenneth's daughter, and we do know that she has a hard time trying to choose between dad and boyfriend. I guess she must have chose boyfriend today. Thanks again for tuning in to the Southeast Gassers events through our YouTube presentation and what we're referring to, or you'll find them as a Southeast Gassers official race recap. Congratulations to both of our winners, Dean Harris and Donovan Stott, today as they start to build on this season and the points required to be the Southeast Gassers A and C category champions. Who knows what tomorrow will bring or the next race? All we know is we're looking forward to Saturday, May 28th for the Knoxville, Tennessee event in Knoxville, Tennessee at Knoxville Dragway. That'll be the third stop on the 2016 tour for the Southeast Gassers Association, and should be yet again an exciting side-by-side field race with nothing but the purest of the A and C gas category drag cars from around the country. I cannot leave Union Drag Strip today without extending a tremendous thanks to the Cargoils Upstate South Carolina Car Club for having us as part of their Still in Motion event. This thing has grown from year to year and is just a wonderful and exciting venue for anyone to come to in next year that is interested in the old car culture from the early 50s and 60s. Certainly the Southeast Gassers Association plays straight into that category, and their same group of fans and people certainly are fans and spectators of ours, and this has always been a tremendous honor to be a part of this event. Next and foremost, I cannot close out today without saying a thanks and a praise to the good Lord above for taking care of our drivers through all of the carnage and the racing that we had today, and hope that they share and give the honor to the good Lord above for all of their many blessings in life. And we ask this in Jesus Christ's holy name, and we thank you yet again. See you later. Saturday, Knoxville Drag Strip in Knoxville, Tennessee, May 28, 2016, the third stop on the Southeast Gassers Tour. Also coming up, Montgomery Raceway Park in Montgomery, Alabama, June 11, 2016. Be it one, be it both. Do not miss both.